Welcome back to another episode of Rennch. On today's show, we are going to take the mystery out of measuring your car for custom wheels. So if you've ever tried to measure your car for custom wheels, it can be a bit of a nightmare. You've got just crazy offsets and wheel widths and calculations to do. It's a whole thing. So when I came across this tool, which is by a dude called Clayton Ramstead, I was like, dude, you gotta send me one of these things so I can check it out. So it's either Ramstead MFG or ClaytonRamstead.com. I will put the link in the description, obviously. Man, this thing takes the guesswork right out of custom wheels. And let me kind of give you a bit of a walkthrough on how it works. So first things first, they come in different lug pattern bases. I want to say they do 4, 5, and 6 lug. They have cool little magnets embedded in them, so it actually sticks to your brake rotor, which is super cool. I've got mine obviously set up for the 5 lug, which is the Porsche, and obviously it will do all kinds of different variants of it. So if you have a 5 lug car, 4 lug car, etc., you can bolt the thing on. The next thing you do is you set the middle bar up to whatever your wheel diameter is going to be. In this case, it's going to be 17. I'm going to try 17s on this first. And then you set this inner one. Let's see if that'll clear. Let's go. There you go. You set this inner one to whatever size rim you want. This is the overall diameter of the wheel. This one is the width of the wheel. And then this little guy, which is sort of the magic, this will tell you what the offset is, plus or minus, for your car. Now on my car, my hope is that I'm gonna be able to go 17 by 8 and 17 by 10. However, there's a set of wheels on eBay that I can buy outright that are 17 by 7 and 17 by 9. I don't yet know if they can customize those wheels for me to make them the way I want, but what I can do is first measure what the 17 by 7 and 17 by 9 will look like, and then measure my 8s and 10s, reach out to those guys and say, hey, can you make the wheels with this particular configuration? So what I know about the existing wheels, they are 17 by 9, and their offset is +5. So I can set this bad boy to +5, which is right there. There's like a window inside here that'll show you the different offsets. And then this thing acts as the rim of the car. So you kind of compare that to your wheel arch. The other thing I thought would be really particularly good for this tool is, you know, I do a lot of flares, not only for my car, but for other people now. And this will enable me to make sure the flare is exactly placed on each side. Kind of cool. Anyway, +5. Let's set this thing again. Right there is +5. So now let's take it to the car and see how this thing fits. They recommend you jack up the car to make sure your center line is where it would be if your car was on the ground. I didn't really have to do that in this case because this suspension is set. It's so stiff right now that it's not even sagging. Like I literally lifted the car up and nothing really happened. It went probably like a ½ inch. So I feel pretty good about it. Number 2, there's no brake rotor on here. I've got the spacer acting as the brake rotor, which is about the same exact width. It's a little 10 mil spacer. So that's there. That is pretending to be my brake rotor. Now I stick the tool on. Now the tool is there and I can look at my rim edge here. So right now it looks like, you know, I've got a little camber going on here. It looks like I'm about 1 inch inside the wheel well, which is fine. You know, I can always space out if I need to. I don't love it, if I'm being honest. I definitely think that I could do another inch and I'd be probably okay. The question is though, do I maybe do 9.5 inches so it gives me a little bit of leeway if I want to pull it out a little bit? So why don't we look at 9.5 and see where that is. All right, so here's 9.5 and I can set this thing here. So it's just a little bit inside. It's kind of hard to show this on camera, but you get the idea. We'll go here with it. So it's sort of right inside. So that could be potential. 9.5 could be the magic number. Let me set it at 10 and see if a 10-inch wheel would work okay as well. Typically, the Porsche 911 ST had 8s and 10s. What I'm struggling with here is, do I just take these stock wheels, which look like they'll fit fine, and I can always throw a spacer on if I need to, and run with those? Or do I take the chance of making these custom wheels and then they're sort of perfectly fit, but then I don't have any wiggle room. Okay, so now I'm set to 10 inches wide, and I haven't mucked with the offset yet. So let's go here a little bit, and let's have a look at that and see. I want you to stay there, bro. Okay, so here's my 10. I've got my rim about right, I mean, it's like right there. I might do a little wiggle room. So this looks like it's a plus 10 offset, but I could also go plus 20. And plus 20 gives me a little more wiggle room, and I kind of like it a little better. So this is a 17 by 10 with a plus 20 offset. And I'm going to just jot down plus 20. And that's 17 by 10. So that's sort of my ideal. I'm going to do something to double check this thing right now. So what I'm going to do here is set my handy ruler here at 10 and hit it there and make sure that I've got clearance, and I've got just loads of clearance. So the question becomes, do I beef up the offset a little bit to, like, let's say plus 30, which then allows me to, if I want, to space the wheel out, because a plus 30 gets it sort of on the inside here, and then I can always do a wheel spacer to move, like to customize it. So I'm going to do that, I think. Let's do plus 30. That gives me a little bit of wiggle room to use some spacers if I need to push the entire thing out. Or maybe my rotor is a little bit thicker than I thought, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it just gives me a little bit of wiggle room that I'm not like completely stuck with this custom rim that doesn't work. I'm going to lift this a little until the distance between here and here is 13 inches. All right, so for the fronts, they are going to be, the stock ones are going to be 7 inches, 7 by 17, and a plus 20. So I'm going to drop that sucker to 7 and drop this thing to plus 20. Man, this does make it so much easier. This is such a pain otherwise, man. If you guys have ever done this, it's like one of the worst, because you don't want to ruin it. Like, you don't want to order the wrong size for your wheels. It's so nerve-wracking. And I've been using this little clamp because it's all aluminum here. We aluminum up in this. Actually, it's holding okay. It's fine. Okay, so a plus 20 is on a 7 is really, really inboard. It's all the way on the inside of the fender. That's easy. Let's just double check the 7 inches part. That's what she said. And I got plenty of room for an 8, like 100%. I could definitely do that. I could definitely space it out. It would fit like 100%, no problem. But that's not going to give us the look we want, is it? We want more juice. We want a deeper rim. All right, let's make this bad boy an 8. None of the 7 nonsense. Okay, here we are. Okay, let's see. What gives a deeper look? This going this way, right? Right there-ish is pretty good. So I think I could get away with a plus 10. It's just on the inside. Let's look at plus 20. Same reasoning. I'd rather have a little flexibility to push out than be like right up against it. So that's a plus 20. And it's way in. It's fine. And you get plenty of space between the spring. That's cool. So I'm going to say 8 inches plus 20. That's going to be that's the deal. I didn't even mean to, and I matched. So somebody actually told me this before, that these wheels are actually meant to match plus 20 offsets front and rear, but now I know that definitively. If they can't do a plus 30, I'm going to double check this 10 with a plus 20 and just make sure I'm comfortable with it. And then I can just tell them 8s and 10s by 17 plus 20 offset, both of them, all is well in the world. So I feel pretty confident about the wheel sizes now. I can have an intelligent conversation with the wheel manufacturer and be like, this is exactly what I need because it's well measured. So thank you to Clayton for solving that problem, which is a colossal pain in the butt. If you guys want one of those things, I put the affiliate link down in the description, and you can also use the promo code Rennch and get 10% off. I get a little bit of a kickback from that, but you know, it's like $6. Anyway, updates. Rear deck lid is being 3D scanned at the moment so we can make cool carbon fiber things. The gauges are getting some send, cut, send pieces cut and sent this way. I'm looking for a pedal board that I can use for drive-by-wire as well as the hydraulic clutch. I'm waiting on a recommendation for the computer to power the gauges. I'm working with a company doing an unbelievable interior for this thing. It's going to be so rad. Rennch apparently is making a new shifter for this thing, so that is upcoming. So I've got a bunch of stuff. A lot of stuff is coming your way. Additionally, I've got a Rustmageddon video coming out probably within a couple of days of this one. I've just got a little bit of stuff to finish on it. And then Fatboy Slim has one final video. We just got the final piece that I've got to weld on, and I want to finish that thing up, finish the rear bumper, weld that piece on, and get it out of here. That is it for now. More videos coming soon, and I think this may very well be the last video shot on this camera. I think this camera is going to be officially retired because of the dot that is still floating around my face, but one that doesn't have a dot in the middle of it. That's all. You guys keep on rocking. We'll talk to you soon.